Good morning. My name is Lazarus Hungleni.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Samuel.
Good morning. My name is Justina Imango.
Good morning. My name is Ina Ampolo.
Good morning. My name is Nyangweni Lucas.
Good morning. My name is Salma Ipinge.
Good morning. My name is Angela Juliana.
Good morning, class. My name is Miss Katrina Pietres. Today's topic is on double entry system. But then before we get to double entry system, we are going to recap on the accounting equation. Okay. As we said, the accounting equation is the fundamental. Basically, the accounting equation is the resources in the business that's equal to the resources supplied by the owner. By this, we mean that it's also the fundamental accounting equation that's also called as the balance sheet equation. The relationship between the assets and liabilities of a business makes up now the accounting equation. So, the accounting equation, as we said, is assets equals to owner's equity plus liabilities. Okay, example of asset is furnitures and vehicles and buildings. Owner's equity is actually money that's put into the business by the owner of the business. Liabilities is money that's borrowed by the owners of the business. It's actually not the money from the owners, it's what they get from other individuals. With that said, we'll actually have to continue with our new topic, which is now the double entry system.
Continuing with the double entry system, is there any one of you who understand what the double entry system means? Okay, in short, the double entry system means it's a system of recording financial transactions which recognize that there are always two aspects to every transaction.
Okay, the two aspects are one account should always be credited and another should always be debited. This basically means at least there should be two accounts to every transaction. Okay, these two aspects are always reflected on the T account, which has the debit side and the credit side.
Okay, class. Before we move on to the transactions, we must always look at the rules first. So, in the rules, the transactions is involved with two accounts. So, in every entry, there must be credit and debit, which means each transaction that is being recorded, there must be debited and credited. Okay, now moving on to the rules itself, whereby we have assets. So asset increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side. Income decreases on the debit side and increases on the credit side. Coming to drawings, drawing increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side.
Okay, now we are expenses. Expenses, it increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side. And we have capital. Capital decreases on the debit side and increases on the, and then we have liabilities. It decreases on the debit side and increases on the credit side.
So, relating to the double system entry, the accounting equations, before going to the examples, there is the accounts. On the examples, we always have to apply the rules of double entry system. So, the first example is the owner of the business contributed capital of 10,000 in the bank of a business, whereby we have two accounts there, the bank and the capital. So, the capital belongs to the capital or the owner's equity, while the bank belongs to the assets. So, the capital here increases on the credit side, while the bank increases also on the debit side. So the more the owners put the money in their business, the more the capital also increases. So guys, I hope you understand what we did with the first transaction. But then I don't think you guys are paying attention because you guys did not correct me here. I wrote $1,000 instead of 10,000. So guys, moving on to the second transaction. It reads as follows. Bought machinery worth $5,000 in cash. So, like I said before, you need to identify your two accounts. In this case, our two accounts are machinery and cash. Secondly, remember to identify under which rule those two accounts fall under. Machinery is an expense. Alright? So you need to identify where machinery increases and where it decreases. So an expense increases on the debit side. Our second account is cash. And cash is an asset. So an asset increases, sorry guys. So cash is an asset, and then in this case we are losing out on money because we bought machinery. So it decreases on the credit side. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Okay. The last example, number 3. The business paid for the water and electricity cash amounting to $800. So you guys already know that. You guys know how this goes. You select your two accounts, in this case, which is water and electricity and cash. And then you draw your T accounts. I hope you guys are following.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, water and electricity is an expense. And like I said, an expense increases on the debit side. So, here we have an increment of $800. Is that right? Okay, and then here our second account is cash. And like we said in the previous transaction, cash is an asset. And because we paid for water and electricity, we lost out on money, so our account decreases with $800. I hope that was clear.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, class, for your patience. That was the end of our lessons. But before we dismiss, in summary, we touched on the double entry system, where we gave the definitions. And we also related the double entry system to the accounting questions, where we said there are always at least two accounts from each transactions. And the next step would be to classify those accounts. Are they assets, expenses, income, capital, drawings, and liabilities? And that way it will be easier for you. So with that, are there questions?
No, sir.
Okay, if there are no questions, I have on this side of the board, I have homework for you. We still have 15 minutes for you to copy down this homework, and I want the solution first thing tomorrow. Our class is the first tomorrow morning, so that is it. All the best. Enjoy the homework, and see you tomorrow.
Thank
you, sir.